Well, we spend a lot of time on this channel talking about a potential 5th season of Young Justice. But the main question many fans have is, what exactly do we want from a potential season 5? Well, I got a couple ideas, and I thought we could break them down and talk about them for a few minutes. Well, I know I'm not the only one who really wants to see Young Justice return for a Season 5. We're getting a trickle of bits of news, but nothing decisive from Warner Bros. Discovery or even Greg Weisman. But I don't think the real discussion is, do we want a Season 5 of Young Justice? But instead, what do we want from a Season 5 of Young Justice? So let's dive into that for a minute and have a little fun with the possibilities. Now at its heart, I came up with 5 core things we all really want from a Season 5, but for me, they are in no specific order. Right out of the gate, I think it's unavoidable. We simply want it to happen. We've been campaigning for it a while, and we haven't gotten any decisive news from anybody at Warner Bros. Discovery. Almost every other hanging DC project from WB has found a new home, or at least is staying where it was born. Harley Quinn Season 4 is coming to HBO. Batman the Brave and the Bold has found a new home on Amazon Prime, and of course Dead Boy Detectives is joining Sandman over on Netflix. So why hasn't Young Justice gotten a home yet? This at the top of the whole pyramid is the big one for fans, simply to make it happen. Now I think another really big topic that needs to show up in the upcoming season is Jason Todd. We've been getting teased about Jason Todd since Season 2. We first met Jason in the grotto at his memorial, and he served the team in that lost era we've talked about so many times on this channel. But in recent years, we've seen that red-hooded ninja with Ra's al Ghul, and it's now super clear to fans that red-hooded ninja is indeed the long-lost character Jason Todd. Now, I'm pretty sure he died a very similar way as the comics and was returned in the same manner, probably being killed by the Joker and brought back to life by Ra's al Ghul in the Lazarus Pit. Now, at the end of last season, Jason was joining Onyx and Jade, training their hearts and souls with Sensei and Ra's al Ghul, who seem to have turned over a new leaf, or at least had the best interests of the 3 characters at heart. When Season 5 potentially happens, Jason needs to be at the forefront, because fans need an answer of what happened to Jason and how he was going to return, and the interaction with some of his old teammates, especially Dick Grayson, should be beyond interesting. Now I think the next thing we really want from a Season 5 of Young Justice is Supergirl. That season-ending cliffhanger scene left fans wanting to know what happened. Kara Zor-El has been conspicuously absent from Earth 16 since the early days of the show, and many fans have wondered where Supergirl was. Last year saw Superboy locked in the Phantom Zone, along with a whole plethora of Kryptonian criminals under the direction of General Zod. Now, we were teased this season about the potential for Kara to actually be part of Earth 16, but by the time we got to the end of the season, we found that Darkseid had made a deal with Vandal Savage and pulled Supergirl from the Phantom Zone to make her one of his new Furies. The return of Kara Zor-El to the Young Justice world is going to be a big deal, and this is something fans really want to be resolved, know what happened to Supergirl, and how she could potentially return. Joining Supergirl on those Furies was Black Mary, aka Mary Blomfeld. Now, this year she was a huge part of the Sentinels of Magic storyline, and we got teased about why she could no longer say the magic word. Her story is a classic story of addiction, where she became addicted to the power of Shazam and ultimately had to be convinced by Billy and Freddy to leave the Sergeant Marvel form behind and take advantage of her magical skills under the tutelage of Zatanna. We saw how this season went down and some of the rifts that developed between her and Zatanna based on how her magic affected some of her teammates. The dissolution of this friendship led to her being recruited by Granny Goodness, and in that same post-credit scene, she was standing shoulder to shoulder with Supergirl, making for an amazing powerhouse for Darkseid's frontal assault, which will likely come during that potential Season 5. I suspect her story will include the rest of the Marvel family, including Freddie Freeman, who we got our first look at in Young Justice Targets number 6, and hopefully see a bigger return of Shazam, aka Captain Marvel. Billy Batson was noticeably absent this season, and many fans really would love to see him be a bigger part of Season 5. And that brings us to the obvious big question for what we do want from Season 5 of Young Justice, and that would be Wally West. We need an answer to what happened to Wally West. He clearly didn't die. Many fans believe he was actually pushed into the Speed Force, but if you know what Greg Weisman has said, he's never actually confirmed the Speed Force exists as we know it on Earth 16. Now, there's a distinct possibility that Wally is indeed dead. We've actually talked about accepting that and the possibilities he will never return. And I'm not saying Wally has to return in Season 5. What I'm suggesting is, during Season 5, many fans just simply want an answer to this particular question. What happened to Wally? Where did he go? And is he really dead, or can the team find a way to rescue Wally and bring him back to his friends? They managed to do this for Connor Kent in Season 4, and if Wally really is out there somewhere, well, the Young Justice team would be the ones to find a way to rescue him. We did get teased with him this past year in the Phantom Zone, but it seems based on statements that some of the creative team have made that may have truly just been in Connor's head, although honestly guys, that whole scene felt like that really was Wally, and only other people trapped in the Phantom Zone look like that, so is Wally also trapped in the Phantom Zone? Well, that's pretty hard to tell, and I think we'll probably have to wait and see on. So, what do you want from Season 5 of Young Justice? Did we mention it here? And if not, make sure you comment down below and let us know what needs to happen in Season 5. Peace.